Louis.
Yeah, I guess. Right. Obama. You ain't smiling, man.
I'm tired. You say this food truck is running now.
You ain't smiling, man. What's wrong, man? Your energy's down. Your energy's down today, man. I can't hear you. Who? Did we just told me? Yeah. Most likely ain't coming. Okay. Hey, a computer always work. A computer always work. Huh? Hey, you know what you taught me, don't you? I always be a leader. See, where you leading at? Be a leader.
All right now. It's Sunday afternoon right here at the Soulful Sounds of DerbyTown. I'm here with my main squeeze story over here. And
good evening, good afternoon, good evening. How you doing?
I'm doing
happy
wonderful.
To see you.
It's good to be seen. It's a glorious day in the Lord, and He's allowed us to be here at this time for this purpose of rocking out the sounds of the Soulful Sounds of DerbyTown. You just got through listening to 3 of the cuts from the 2024 Soulful Sounds of DerbyTown's compilation. And of course, first you heard from the one and only Bishop Dennis Lyons, laying it down on that Hammond B3 organ with Precious Memories. I know, Miss Young, I know you listening, so I know you know what that's about. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you heard from the Ron Hayden group in their CD, Living It Up, featuring Bennett Higgins, Ted White, Ron Hayden, of course, and the one and only Tyrone Wheeler. The last 2 cuts you heard were from Louisville's own Jerry Green with The Fruits of Evil and Get On the Dance Floor. Now, I'm rolling this out for you all today because, again, we're going to be completing our top 40 list and our top 10 list of all the best of Louisville's own great performance artists. And we're going to make a 2026 CD compilation, and our listening audience is going to be privy to helping us determine who's supposed to go on that, right? Mm-hmm. So we already we got about 6, and I'd like at least 15, so that we can be fair to everyone. So, because a lot of people like the same artists, but that's good too, right?
Yes,
yeah, it's fair and it's real. But we also want to get as much input as we possibly can from our listening audience. So please don't forget to call in at 795-1019 right here at WLLV, and let us know how you're liking the program. I really appreciate all the great feedback we've been getting from everyone.
We've been getting some good callers in the last couple of weeks with some good answers and questions.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I really appreciate that because the last caller put a lot on my mind about youth and them playing the victim. So I really do appreciate when the callers do call in because we can learn from them. Of course.
I mean, where everybody, when you're not seen, a lot of people don't like to voice their opinions in open company because they don't want to be cut down, and like I said, your opinion is only good for you.
Yes, ma'am.
It doesn't necessarily have to be right. We've got a call on the line. Who am I speaking with, please?
Hey, this is Ron Lewis. How y'all doing?
Hey, Ron, how you doing? When's your party?
Hey, I just want to let y'all know that the book, Soulful Sounds of DerbyTown, that all the music that are Mr. Warren's production company and the artists in the book will now be exclusively sold at Better Days West on Bird Avenue. Ben Jones is going to take it over. So if you need anything from any of those artists in the book that's on the wonderful record label, don't see Mr. Ben
Thanks, Mr. Ron.
We're in Louisville, laying down some great music here in Mr. Wonderful Show Band, and showcasing a lot of our local vocalists, throughout the years. I had the privilege of being on stage with the Mr. Wonderful Show Band back in the day when they were doing music down there on the waterfront. We opened up for the Gap Band, and I forget that other big group we opened up for one year. But hey, you know, we got some great talent here in Louisville. Everybody knows that.
I got some of his music in my studio, so
oh, yeah,
you know, I like the sound. He got some very, very good music.
I know, no doubt about it. I also want to tell you now, don't forget about the California Neighborhood Day coming up on August 30th from 1 to 6 p.m. right there at the California Park, corner of 17th and Prentice. And going to have live entertainment there from Mr. Ralph Adams and yours truly, Miss M. I'll be on the set too, emceeing that day, and face painting, hula hoop contest, cake walks. Miss Mary Hall and all of her great constituents and co-workers have worked really, really hard to make this year's presentation as wonderful as it always has been. So don't forget, August the 30th, right there at the California Community Park. And from 1 to 6 p.m., it's going to be a wonderful day. And it's going to be a safe and productive day. I tell you, in our community, there's so much going on. And we still, of course, want to offer our condolences and prayers to all of the families who have suffered the loss of one of their loved ones in the past weeks, and just in general, because there's been so much balance in our community, and we do have to find ways and means to address those things.
Right.
I'm also going to be having...
praying.
Oh, man, look at here.
Praying.
We have to understand that, you know, like I said, this is set hands.
Right.
This is the good Lord put him down here, and this is where we at.
I'm a parent that done lost a child in the streets around, so I know how I feel at the beginning, and it's been like 5-6 years, and I know how I feel afterwards when you just don't go away. I mean, you can move on a little bit, but you have them days, and you get them days, and it's like it just sets you right back to the beginning.
Of course.
And you just got to keep fighting. So I pray and sympathize and, you know, give my heart out to all the parents and family members that lost love, because it's not easy to move forward.
Of course not. Of course not. We're going to be having some other special guests coming to us here at the Soulful Sounds of DerbyTown in the incoming weeks. I'm going to have Miss Louis of, you know, she's been a staunch advocate for decades in our community and in Washington, D.C. I had the privilege of speaking with Miss Gracie. I love her because of her energy and her tenacity and her willingness to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. She cuts no corners, and she doesn't butter it up, you know, to make it go down easier. And she's got some great strategies and great information that we need to be privy to, especially at this time when the things that are, a lot of the things that are troubling in our community stems down from the hierarchy and how our world today is being governed. You know, we just have to be truthful about it. I know we have to be very careful what we say on the air, because we're not advocating for any particular candidates, but we're advocating for the truth and for and the things that will make it better for everyone, not just African Americans, but we have to be mindful that
live peaceful.
Yeah, well, you know, that's more than a notion. That's more than a notion. This is his playground, and you know, he's got to do everything that he can to keep us in an uproar and keep us unfocused. So in the incoming days, between Miss Gracie and, of course, one of our co-hosts, Miss Barbara Boyd, who will still be coming on and sharing, you know, information about Asala and what we need to be doing in the community to make sure that our children have the opportunity for a better life. We have to educate them properly. We far too long been turning our face to the other side. You understand? In order to go along and get along, we can't do that anymore. We have to stand up for what's right.
That's still being parents today. Quit trying to be their friend.
Well, you know, I've heard that all of my life. You can't be your child's friend. If you're not a friend to your child, how is your child gonna know what a real friend looks like?
I understand. I'm talking about like
I know what you're saying.
Friend. Like I understand being open to them, but some people go too far. with it?
Well, that's because they're not parents. You just said it.
Yeah.
There's a difference between a mama, a daddy, and a parent.
Yes, ma'am.
A parent parents.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand? You tell them the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And you don't wait till they're 15. You don't wait to tell a young lady that, you know,
how to wipe herself and clean her body when she's 15 years
you don't
old.
do that.
Yeah.
You start teaching them when that's the scripture tells us, train up a child the way that they should go. That means from the rooter to the tutor. It don't mean nothing, you know, about you wait.
Yeah.
No, you got to tell them now.
Yeah.
And just like that thing, that term boy, I hate when young men are called boys. Boy has a negative connotation to me. It's a slave term. Gal, girl, all of that, right. We're young men, young women. If you're born a male, you're a man. If you're born a female, you're a woman. Period. So, you know, the terminologies get convoluted, and so our brains are convoluted. So that means our conversation is off track. It's not always concise, and we have to learn to deal with the whole truths, not half truths. So I ain't gonna run my mouth too much.
But I also want to say, she having a cakewalk. I haven't heard nobody having a cakewalk in so long. You got to go. Last time I heard of a cakewalk was at Carter Elementary.
Is it right?
They used to have I'm from over in Africa, so they used to have like a spring cakewalk thing. They used to let all the kids from the neighborhood come, even if you didn't go to the school. And I used to go over there, had a cakewalk. I ain't heard it. That's about the last time. I probably like 8 or 9 or 10.
Is that right? Well, they're a lot of fun. Now, all I can say it's going to be a hot day. I know it's going to be hot because it's been smoking out here. But we might have cupcakes instead of cakes, but we're going to have some cake. You best understand it. Yeah. So, and again, at California Day, we're going to have DJ Jesse laying down the jams all day long. And Miss Cassandra of Junior's food truck is going to be serving up some mighty good fixings, but you're going to have a ticket. You're going to have a ticket now. And that ticket is going to go into a hat for drawings throughout the day for giveaways that people have been kind enough to donate, you know, $50 food gift cards from Kroger's, and they got an iPad and a few other great gifts Miss Mary told me about. So Mary will be coming on maybe next week to talk about California Day in its entirety, and bringing you up on some things that I may have missed today, but we do want you to know that. Also, I'm going to give a shout out to Miss Lisa Rankins Persley from Lexington, Kentucky, who was here a couple of weeks ago opening up for the Jack Carter Blues, and she's going to be having a new CD release coming out pretty soon. She came in town over the weekend and went out to La La Land recording studio. She came all the way from Lexington to come here to Louisville to record her latest CD offering. And it's also called Come On Out on the Dance Floor. And it's really hot.
Yeah.
Her and Jerry Green, I could play him and her back to back, and I'd have y'all rocking in y'all seats at home. Yeah. Okay. But again, Ms. Young, thank you so much for being in the house yesterday at the standing room only stepping into Faith Fashion Show that was held at God Will Christian Fellowship out on 3109 Thomas Lane. The pastor is going to be, and his wife will be having their anniversary coming up on September 14th, and their special guest will be the Pastor Darrell Williams of the Greater New Beginnings Church, and that's going to be at 11 a.m. on that Sunday morning. That's September the 14th. So we're going to go on and spend a little bit more music for you, coming straight at you from the Soulful Sounds of DerbyTown. All right, that's the one and only Mr. Rusty Yens from his latest CD release, Hillbilly Hoodoo, Old Houses, Juke Joints, and Honky Tonks. Yeah, they had a CD release party the first Sunday in August. August 3rd.
You had them up on your show too,
I did. And that's my favorite cut. Rusty's got some great stuff on this CD as well as on his earlier releases. He's a great guy, and like you say, he's been around here in the Ville, in Kentucky for a long, long, long time, and has happily, he says his music has continued to grow, you know, from the likes of Hank Williams and all of the great blues singers, you know, Elmore James, you know, you can tell he's listened to everybody and blended a lot of genres, not just the blues. He's blended a lot of genres in his offerings on the guitar. I had the pleasure of working with him on the Lady Sings the Blues back in November, and
he looked
did a great. Yeah, he's very talented. Did a great job. So we're gonna take a listen to my favorite niece, and when I say favorite, because she was my well, she's not my niece. What am I talking about? She's my granddaughter.
I thought we had a new cut coming out.
I thought we had a new cut coming out. I'm mixed up, man. This sun has got me on blaze, baby. Yeah. I'm 75, baby. My brain can't take too much scissor. You know what I'm saying?
That's me.
But yeah, Miss Tristan Marcel's going to be coming at you right now. They love my Tristan. We love you here at the radio station, not just because you're mad, but because you're good, girlfriend. Mm-hmm. You lay it down. So take a listen. Anybody can call in and tell me the name of this particular offering. I'll give you a 2025 CD release of the Soulful Sounds of DerbyTown. That's the one and only Miss Tristan Marcel with First Love. Be sure to check out her other offerings on YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram. That's Tristan Marcel. Also, we want to send out a blessed prayer for the family, the Bingham family, and the passing of Miss Sally Bingham, who was a prolific and wonderful philanthropist here in not just Kentucky, I'm sure all over the world. Miss Bingham was a gracious and kind lady, and she's done so much for artists here in Louisville, Kentucky, on many levels, especially the Kentucky. And she created the Kentucky Foundation for Women, which I was privy to take advantage of when I was allowed to get a small grant some years back to develop the Marian Fisher story that I do now, the one-woman stage play that I do about Marian Fisher entitled Songbird of the South. But Miss Bingham was just a great and gracious lady, and we want to send out heartfelt condolences to her family and everyone whose lives she touched, because it's a great loss to our community and to the artist enrichment programs that she supported and developed. She also, that there's the open application for the Kentucky Foundation for Women grant program. The deadline is August 25th at 5 p.m. So be sure to look that up on, there's a link. Of course, I can't see it here on the paperwork as to what it is, because I will give it to you. But let me look like real closely. It says, okay, you can go to www.kfw.org/artist enrichment grant. That's www.kfw.org/artist enrichment grant. The deadline is August 25th at 5 p.m. So any of you all out there who has any kind of programming that you think would be, not worthy, because I tell you, as long as you're controlling the narrative and you're telling your truth, I think everything is great, because we need to be educated from the aspect of that we're telling our story our way, and it's not being delivered to us haphazardly or from a perspective of someone who really doesn't understand where we are. We have some horrible things going on at the highest level of government now, when they're trying to change and take control of institutions that have been in, like the Smithsonian Museum. Oh yeah, shut that down. They may attempt to shut that down. Yeah. I don't think a lot of things are said in the open media, again, to get people upset and take their focus off of what they should be doing. Because as long as you're angry and you're dealing in frustration, you won't do the work. You'll just be ranting and raving. I always use the example of when Spike Lee did Malcolm X, and they had beat that gentleman up and locked him up in jail. And they went down to the jail to get him, and you had all of these numbers. If we're going to protest, we're going to have to learn to protest strategically, where our needs are addressed and respected, You can't get that hooping and hollering, jumping up and down and cussing. You can't get it. You're not. What you're gonna do is get
resistance.
You're gonna get resistance and the old adage. See, I told you they didn't have no sense. I told you they didn't know what they was doing.
There's always one.
It's too many. It's too many of us now doing stupid things, man. No. We've got to learn to be strategic in the cause and address things in a manner that gets the job done.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have many organizations here, the Black Women for Political Change. You have a lot of organizations, grassroots organizations, that are out here doing the footwork, doing the leg work, doing the research. We need to get involved and join into these organizations and strategize about how we're going to address anything that's going to take us backwards. And because, when the book came out, the new Jim Crow years ago, it was just a precursor to where we are right now. People have been telling us forever and a day what was coming down, and we weren't paying attention. So we've got to start paying attention and educate our children. You were talking about how your daughter, she's school just started and already she's in trouble. Why? It's not that it's her. She's a product of her environment. She's got to protect herself. You're not there to protect her, to see people running up on her trying to bully her. She's not supposed to lay down and take no whooping. She's not. But, in that setting, when it's laid down that you're supposed to act a particular way, but they never see the sleight of hand. They never see who throws the rock.
Yes, ma'am.
All they see is who throws the rock back.
Person.
Exactly. Yeah. So we as parents have to equip our children that when they go to school to be on the lookout. Everybody is not your friend. That's why I say
try to teach her that. That's what we trying to teach her. We're trying to teach you everybody's not your friend, and quit trying to be friends with everybody. It's not what it is. She's only 7th grade. I hope she gonna get it. I'm gonna drill her into it till she get it. But a lot of kids need to understand you don't have to be cool with everybody. Be the leader. If they're going to be cool with somebody, let them be cool with you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be cool with them, if you understand what I'm saying. You do what you got to do to make it in life, and you have your friend. You know what I'm saying? The friends that's on your level. Sometimes kids tend to mess with other bad kids because they trying to be hip, they want to be seen, I want to be loud, just because they ain't being noticed in school. So, they need to just make your own friends. Don't be friends with people.
A lot of these children who suffer from a lack of love and understanding. Some of these young people have not had parenting. Nobody has, on a daily or any other time, have they heard that I love you. Anytime you hear mothers addressing their kids, calling them out of their names, and even naming their children names that you have to raise your eyebrows and say,
I heard that early in the morning.
So
make me mad.
Oh man, I tell you, look here. But there's some great things being done in our community, and I've always maintained I love theater. Period. But
I think I want to say that lady. I love to hear stories of people like her because she transitioned. She still have left something back and a stamp on people. Even when she's gone, she still left a mark in this world. And this how people should live. Leave a positive mark, not a negative mark. And now she don't transition, but she still have people advocating for, people trying to still outlive her dream. And the people she don't touch will always spread what she gave to them. And that's a good, a good person to speak about.
Oh yeah, she elevated the dreams and the hopes of many a person, and like you say, her legacy will live on forever. But the stage is a great vehicle to address social issues and to address many kinds of issues. And with that being said, the is it called Ty Goods production presents the stage play My DNA Made Me Do It. Now that's gonna be good. My DNA Made Me Do It. Yeah, we're getting ready to switch out in a few minutes here to BlackRoots Bluegrass, which we're going to continue to be doing, of course, here at the Soulful Sounds of DerbyTown. Our host, Bertram Marcus Seabrook, is going to be out in the field for a couple of weeks doing field work and getting some more pertinent information and doing the deep dive, digging up some more great artists from Kentucky.
Good job at it.
Oh, he does a marvelous job at it. But so I know we're going to miss him live here in the studio for a moment, but he's still around, and we're still going to be shooting BlackRoots Bluegrass to you. Still going to be playing some of that great music that he dug down and got. So with that being said, again, my DNA made me do it. We're going to continue this within our next hour of the soulful sounds of DerbyTown. Coming right at you.
And I just want to give you something to go. There's a scripture that talks about God doesn't give us the spirit. And I just want to say, I would rather run afraid than to be afraid. I know. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time.
Broadcasting from the Shirley's Way Studios and bringing you Kentuckyana's best gospel music and teachings. 1240 AM, 101.9 FM, WLLV, Louisville.
The following program is paid for by the Kentucky African American Heritage Center.
It's all right. Hey now, hey y'all. So look at here. You know the one thing about this is your boy, our guy. I'm not gonna say boy. Excuse me. That's our guy Norman Sands, rapping it out for us now. You know, I'm not down with the gangster rap and the profanity and all, right? But when the brothers are spitting whole truths and nothing but the truths, we need to hear it. And so no matter the format, we need to understand where we're at in this space and place, that and how we can work together to unite against the powers that be that will take us back through some things that we shouldn't have had to go through in the first place, but now that it's being reinstituted in such a mass indoctrination of, I don't even know what to call it, it's so convoluted and confused. However, when you have individuals and young men like Norman Sands who are laying down the specifics and speaking strategies, don't always listen to the music, listen to the words. Listen to the thoughts and the process of how they've taken things that are relevant to our situation and that speak directly to the causes that affect us. And then begin to ask questions. And we're going to ask you today if there's any concerns, any things that are on any of our listeners' minds out there today that you want to call in and address, or even ask the question, you know, what can we do about the balance in our community? What should we be doing about the balance in our community? We elect officials and expect them to do the work. We, at the grassroots levels, have to do the work also.
And we ain't going to make it without the community involvement.
We cannot make it without the community.
So the community have to get involved for everything to work.
You must understand that we're the ones that really make the laws. We the people are the ones who's supposed to be addressing these causes, these issues, mandating them, putting them down on paper, and quit sending people to Washington, D.C. and everywhere else to do the work that we should be doing, and demanding from these officials that we do put into office that they meet and agree on what we need, not what we want, what we need in our communities to straighten out some of this mess. And we've got to quit with this snitching mentality where we think that we're snitching when you know and you saw what somebody did to somebody's child, because as Malcolm X said before, and you know, people got upset about it. Elijah Muhammad got upset about it. You know, the president, everybody got upset about it when he said that the chickens had come home to roost. Well, guess what? That's what chickens do. See, so if you ignore the fact that you witnessed something that was wrong, and you said nothing about it, you know, they do have those lines where you call in, don't nobody know who did what.
What I learned, though, is nobody cures it until it happened to them.
And that's what I'm talking about. It's going to come back on.
And so you see something happen, you're like, well, I understand that the don't want to murder, but your child get killed. Like I said, my son got killed in the street, so I know. When it happened to you, then the whole scenario changed.
It's a whole nother
but it can happen to you. So you have to, try to help, your neighborhood and your community, because I like to let my little girl go out and ride a bike, but How can I?
Yeah, the chickens do come home to roost. If you don't say something, it's going to come back and bite you one way or another. It might not be directly to you, but it's going to be to someone that you love and care about also. So we have to become more accountable and responsible to the causes. And so again, Brother Norman Sands is laying it down in his rap, and I love it. You also were hearing in between Norman, you were hearing from one and only Miss Faith Pillow with Love Me Right, which was a tune she wrote. And then we heard Songbird also, which was written by Jessie Colin Young. Like I say, gone much too soon, but she left a rich and wonderful legacy of music behind for us to enjoy. So right here at the Soulful Sounds of DerbyTown, we're making sure that you're getting a menagerie of music that addresses and speaks to not only the artistry and excellence of musicians and performers here in, it's not just Louisville, Kentucky, it's surrounding regions of Kentucky. We have,
he's from Covington, I think so.
Yeah, right.
Lexington and Covington,
Well, I mean, a lot of our TD, there's a lot of individual talents that, when you read their biography sometime and you find out that they're from some parts of Kentucky, it does the heart good to see, hey, they did well, they made it right, and if they're from right here in Kentucky, BlackRoots Bluegrass, we've got a vast history, and it spreads far and wide. So we're going to continue on with some more Soulful Sounds of DerbyTown coming right at you. All right. That's Nappy Roots, Ho Folks. And of course, right before that, you heard from the one and only Crypto, Sam Majesty, with Derby City, the River City. So, when my heels touch the earth, I am healing my wounds. I will tell you what I have learned myself. For me, a long walk, 5 or 6 miles a day, helps. And one must go alone and every day. Healing takes time. Healing is an everyday affair. Some traumatic events in our lives require physical, emotional, and or spiritual healing. And sometimes we just need to let the nicks, chips, and dents from everyday living heal. Doing the work we do and holding things together the way we do takes its toll. When we need these healing times, there is nothing better than a long, good walk. It is amazing how the rhythmic movements of the feet and legs are so intimately attached to cobweb cleaners in the brain. And we must take a long walk, because at first, we think about our problems. Those thoughts dissipate over time, though, thus allowing the healing to begin, and we are less focused on our thinking about ourselves. We can only learn to love by loving. When we do too much, we believe that there's a trick to loving. If we can just look beautiful enough, we can make others love us. Or if we just take care of others and make ourselves indispensable, they will love us. We don't learn to love by loving. We try to control love by manipulation. Unfortunately, these methods do not teach us much about loving. Loving is a risk. It is a letting go of expectations and just allowing. Some of us doubt our capacity to love because we have been raised in a dysfunctional family and a dysfunctional society, and never really have had much experience of clear loving. Loving always had strings attached, demands that we had to meet. Hence, we have practiced loving as we learned it in and of our families. Fortunately, we are capable of new learning, and it starts right inside of us. When we experience loving ourselves, we begin to learn by loving. As I love myself is only a short step to the loving of others. What you think about that, Toy?
I was just going to ask you, what your opinion, what do they mean by love by manipulation?
Well,
Love
that's
by
when,
manipulation.
okay, take the institution of marriage
Yes, ma'am.
for women. We've always been told that if you didn't have a husband, you weren't supposed to have children. If you had children out of wedlock, then your child was what they call the B word. And we know what that is. So here you come in with a new life, one that the good Lord gave you. So because regardless of how you conceive that child, because a lot of times women who aren't married have not freely of their own accord given themselves to someone. It's been taken. That act has been put upon them, and a child is produced. So that child is born into a world where people are telling him, you have no right to be here because you weren't born within the institution of marriage. So that child grows up thinking that they're not worthy of love. A lot of our children, believe me, I worked at youth detention for years. I saw it one-on-one, face-to-face. But when you demand, see, a person has to understand for themselves who they are. That's why our history from forever back, before enslavement ever happened, you know, we see Africans from Ghana all over the world on television, and we see, they only show us what they want us to see. Because if you ever travel to Africa, all the people I've ever known, and know right now, my cousin just got back from Africa, and all they can talk about of what a wonderful experience it is, because, you know, no matter if we were born on this side of the Atlantic or not, in our DNA, just like this play I was telling you about, my DNA made me do it. We're unique as a culture, but we've been taught that our culture suffers from dysfunction. We've never been accepted just as being a whole person. We had been pieced together by someone else's appreciation of who we are or not. So loving oneself has to come from within. We love the Lord. We were raised in the church. And when I say the church has nothing to do with a building. It has nothing to do with a building. It has everything to do with your frame of reference and your frame of mind. And if, in fact, you know, they tell you, you put two babies, and one baby is cuddled and hugged and kissed and loved on, and one child is left and never feels the human touch, they grow up disattached. Because they have no feelings. They don't know what that is. They don't know what emotional... they don't know...
Somebody come to a curb battle.
Self-love. So you got to feel good about yourself. You find children that walk around singing and happy all day. They, most of the time, are in a safe environment where people touch on them, talk to them, encourage them.
Do you feel that's one of the reasons with the behavior with the kids in school? Because you have some kids that come to school, that parent care, that participate in their life, and they look happy. Then you got this one little boy, little girl come to school, and they got a lot of turmoil going on in the house.
Absolutely.
So when they come home and see a kid that look well grown, that well taken care of, that they have a conflict with each other just because, you know, you got an iPhone 14 and you 14 or 12 or something. You know.
How you put it, that's what I was saying to you about your daughter. You don't know what environment your daughter walks into that school with every day. People seeing the way she dresses, like you said, if she's got all the latest appliances when it comes to technology. They don't have that. They don't have exposure. They don't have that. They don't get gifts for Christmas. Nobody ever says to them on a daily or otherwise, hey, I love you, I care. Go make up your bed. And you, whether you expect it or not, you do it because you've been disciplined to follow instructions. You know, the Bible is a guideline of instruction that gives us an opportunity to learn better of our ways. It's been ground-bounded and just pounded into us. I think the true aspects of what Christianity and the church really is has been lost in transition, if you will, because we loved it. We said, we love the Lord. You know, He heard my cry.
Well, you know, I understand what you're saying, because when I was growing up, my oldest brother and my youngest brother, they had their father, and I didn't have a father, so I did feel a certain way when it came to them having a father. I never did actually really showed it, you know, but
felt it.
I felt it because I didn't have, you know, that extra pickup, or, you know, getting away. You know, I had to, you know, finding my own or make my own people that show me love, or people that took interest in me because they seen that I was trying. I had ambition to be something or do something. But I do remember and understand you saying this growing up is just not being left out with.
Detached.
Yeah,
you feel
detached from another side of the family.
Detachment.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you belong.
Mm-hmm.
So in a society where, like you say, after desegregation and during the civil rights movement, when Martin Luther King Jr. said, you don't fight back, and people are saying he crazy. Him and Malcolm didn't come together. You know why they didn't want? And that dissension, was meant to happen because if those two men had come together in their precepts and really had an opportunity to understand why they wanted to do things in the particular manner that they did, then they would have united nations. Just like Esau in the Bible. She carried twins. She carried nations. Mm-hmm. You understand? It wasn't just one nation. It was many nations. The Lord populated the earth, but we're still one in the Godhead. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So there was no difference. Mm-hmm. There was only it's right and there's wrong, and there's no gray area.
Some people manipulate love with materialistic things these days too, like get married because it's more of not love, but it's a business deal, kind of like.
Right. I know they talk about gold diggers. Come on, don't make me go there now.
I'm just saying. I kind of went that. Well, I know this guy got work there for. He got insurance, and and I really don't like him, but he's alright. And I'm a big
look here, man. Look here.
Do you believe
Why
that?
do you think? What do you mean? Do I believe it? I know it. Look here. The church. If you think about how priests used to be able to marry.
Yes, ma'am.
But women weren't supposed to own property. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So then they tell priests they can't get married because if the priest died, then property's going to go to the female and her family, right? Oh, no, we can't have that.
Oh, man.
She's not capable of taking care of anything. Right. She's a female. You understand? Right. So, and of course it's not right, but it is the accepted view and way of the world. Okay. And so when you don't understand your spiritual self, if you don't acknowledge the Lord who governs and has made you, and you always some materialistic things. Oh yeah, this is what we're taught to do in this world. But look at here, we're gonna end our session today of the Soulful Sounds of DerbyTown, playing some of our most prolific gospel artists from right here, the Golden Crowns. I tell you, and Pee Wee just passed. And I tell you, Pee Wee, he was a member of the Golden Crowns forever and a day. Mm-hmm. And I actually have something on my phone. They're going to have, oh man, he was so wonderful. I remember, Ron, you'll know this too, we used to rehearse down in Ron Lewis's basement and some of the Golden Crowns when Ron was recording other artists. And Pee Wee I met so many musicians he sang and played, man. He was all that. You hear me? He's all that. Yeah. And the brother's been suffering from health issues for a long time now. And beautiful brother, beautiful spirit. When he smiled, he'd go in his mouth and he'd be real chocolate. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But we loved us some people. Yes, we did. He was chocolate. Like chocolate thunder. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, not sexy chocolate, but chocolate thunder.
That's the old school.
That's what I'm talking about, chocolate thunder, baby. That's what I'm talking about. You can smack if they want to. That being light skinned. But it ain't got no difference, and that's another thing. We've been taught to go against one another. A brother gonna tell me about colorism. I said colorism been around since the beginning of time. They just gave it a new name. You understand? To keep us separated.
It's only your pigment in your skin is different.
Some of us got more melanin than others. You understand? If you go out in the sun, you brown, you don't burn.
We all the same people. It's just one person with
we get brown, we don't burn. But in this heat right here we got right now, we burn, baby. Look here, we gonna listen to the Golden Crowns. Come back, keep on getting blessed. That's what we gonna do because we'll go on and on. Yeah. But thank you, Toy, for coming in today and hanging out with us. Yeah, I love you too. So be blessed, our listeners. And again, remember to call in to 795-1019 and tell us your concerns. Tell us what you need to hear over the air when it comes to us coming together in a unified, collective, corresponding force to to heal our communities, to heal our land. You know, Scripture tells us if we would do what the Lord said, that He'd heal the land. And I believe that, and I know y'all do too. Hey, Miss Young, appreciate you, girl. The fashion show was all that yesterday, wasn't it? Ah, yes, it was. And your granddaughter, they was strutting their stuff. And the men was sharper than the ladies. The brothers was clean, baby. They was out there at the Will of God. The one's going to have the Pastor's anniversary on the September 14th.
Things like you should get, like what they doing. You know, it's where we should have our young ladies, young daughters involved in things like that, so they can find their character and their identity as a young woman, and let them build their own character. A lot of parents not letting their kids develop and have their own character. You making them want to be like you. You need to let them build themselves and find their own self, what they own. Like,
we too busy teaching them how to twerk.
Yeah.
Man, we too busy teaching them how to twerk. Ain't she cute? Play us some Golden Ground.
You ever heard somebody perform that live like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If it had not been for Jesus, then where would I be?
So let me tell you this. Let me tell them about this. Let me tell them about this thing for Pee Wee today. All right. All right. That's the one and only Tones of Joy. And I was telling you about Pee Wee. They're having a special celebration today. Celebration of life, honoring the Reverend Nathaniel Pee Wee Brown II. That's today, the 17th. And it's right over there at King Solomon Baptist Church. And they say, come one, come all, choirs, groups, soloists, preachers, come to share love with the family. Now, his homegoing celebration will be on August 23rd. The wake will be at 10 a.m. and the funeral will be at 12 noon at King Solomon Baptist Church, 1620 Anderson Street here in Louisville, Kentucky. So Reverend Nathaniel P. Wee Brown II. Yeah, he was a great guy, Pee Wee. And he is, you know, we'll always have him in our hearts, and especially through music like this. You know, back when I was coming along and young and got into the recording business with Lamont Butler and Albert Marshall and Rich Williams and all the great people that we had come together as groups, we would have afternoon programs every Sunday. We'd leave church. We'd be in church all day long, in fact, you know, but there was no doubt that on Sunday afternoon, we'd either be at King Solomon, Calvary Baptist Church, and we'd be having us a hallelujah, great time with all of these great, wonderful artists who would sing into the power of the Lord came down. So don't forget about today. Started at 5 p.m. at King Solomon, and they're doing a musical memorial honoring the memory of Reverend Nathaniel Pee Wee Brown. Right there at 29, well, today it's at the New Jerusalem Church. Okay, they've got so many. No, it is in King Solomon. Okay, so this is something different. Okay, so this may have been something they came up with. But you know, Pee Wee had I'm sure he has a big family in the gospel community, in the church community. We all are family, so I know there's probably too many folk for New Jerusalem. So that's why they're over there at King Solomon today with a musical tribute to Pee Wee today. So be blessed, my brothers and my sisters. Pee-wee. Yeah, rest in peace, my brother. We'll see you soon. Hey, praise the Lord.
And I just want to give you
man, Corey
Yeah.
Lewis.
Yeah, this is right. Bob